You're listening to The Mountain Spirit, a podcast of Christian Appalachian Project, where we share inspirational stories of faith, service, and compassion. I'm a firm believer that we're all connected by our shared humanity, and that finding that intersection sometimes just means having a conversation. Today we get to hear from Nicky Stacy, president of the Hazel Green Food Project. According to God's Pantry Food Bank, in Kentucky, 1 in 8 people are unsure whether they'll get their next meal. In Central and East Kentucky, it's 1 in 6. Hunger knows no bounds, and it could happen at any time. One unexpected, life-changing event, a job loss, death in the family, a sudden medical bill, could put anyone into a delicate budgeting balancing act, forcing them to make impossible choices. But that's the reality for more than 220,000 people experiencing food insecurity in Central and East Kentucky. God's Pantry Food Bank serves 50 counties in Central and East Kentucky in partnership with more than 500 food pantries and meal programs. One of those critical partners is the Hazel Green Food Project. We're so glad to have Nicky with us today. Hi, Nicky. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How long have you been with Hazel Green Food Project, and how did you all get started?
Well, we have been going for 3 years. It feels like a lifetime, but just 3 years. But a lot has happened in 3 years. I mean, we started out just serving 300 people, and now I think the number of families at our last giveaway was like 1,300 families. Sad times in Kentucky. We could post it, even if we just have surprise loads, we can post it at 9 o'clock at night, and we'll have people that will sleep outside the parking lot here, the driveway. They'll stay here just to make sure that they are first in line in order to get food. They have lined up as early as 4 o'clock in the morning for a 1 o'clock giveaway.
Sometimes it's hard for people to picture access to food in areas that don't look like where they live. For me, within less than 10 minutes, I have access to buy groceries from Target, Walmart, Kroger, and Meijer. But what does access to nutritious food look like for people in the community who receive assistance from Hazel Green?
Our nearest Walmart or Kroger is at least 45 minutes to an hour away. I mean, we have just little grocery stores. We have like an IGA, which, the prices, when you're the only grocery store around, the prices are just ridiculous. What you normally pay $3 for at a Walmart, you're paying $7 or $8 for it here. So, I mean, it's really tough on these families, especially, the elderly who, on paper, they look good. They look like they're really good. They're making good money. But once you factor in their medicine costs, they haven't got nothing. We serve 34 counties is what we have served so far. And our number just keeps growing because we are the only pantry who does not make people show their proof of income or where they live. We believe that Jesus never looked in your refrigerator before he fed you. He just fed you. So we don't ask for any paperwork other than your name and your address. We feel like, it's degrading enough if you're in a food line. We don't want to make it any more shameful for people. We just want to make it a good, positive experience. And so that's why we've become such good friends with about everybody that's come through here.
You all have received attention locally and nationally for the car lines on distribution day. What's a typical day look like for you when it's time for distribution?
Cars will line up at 4 a.m. and they will be miles long. And sometimes they kind of turn and they kind of go up the parkway, and then the state police has to get involved, and we have to sometimes start earlier than planned. It just really depends on, how far the line. Now, summertime, when the kids are home from school, we see a large increase in our numbers then. Especially like Christmas breaks, we'll see a big increase in our numbers then. Anytime that the kids are off from school and they're not getting those 2 meals extra a day, that's when we see a large increase.
How many volunteers does it take to run your program?
Well, it's really funny. Used to, it was just whoever I could con into helping me for the day. It takes about 30 volunteers. But for the past year, we have partnered up with EKCC, Eastern Kentucky Correctional. complex in Morgan County, and they have a minimum security unit. And so those inmates that has no violent crimes used to come out and help me, and we box up the food together and we distribute the food together, and they have just been a huge help.
There are lots of communities, rural and urban, that just lack access to affordable, nutritious food. Are there other strategies that communities need to look at in addition to pantries that can help them address food insecurity?
I don't know really what to do at this point. I think our grocery costs have just become so high, and people are just struggling right now just to even, make ends meet. And right now, I see, in our food line, we mostly give away the Kentucky Farm Fresh produce and stuff like that. And, these people are just thankful for a sack of potatoes and a cabbage head, because the prices has increased so much here that they just can't afford it. We have one lady, we partnered up and we got some meat boxes. And we had a message that night where that lady said this was the first time in a year that her house even had protein in it, that she relied on her peanut butter that she got from her commodity box, and that was the only protein that she had. And she thanked us 3 or 4 times. She's like, this is the first time I've had meat. When you look at our grocery store and our grocery prices, and our prices just increase more and more, I mean, I just see it just getting worse.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you want to have fun this summer while saving money for college? Be a summertime superhero as a camp counselor with Christian Appalachian Project at one of our 2 beautiful camps. You'll have a great time and make a difference in the lives of kids in Eastern Kentucky. Our camp counselors have a blast outside boating, creating arts and crafts, and playing games with our campers. The kids love the activities, but what they remember most about camp are the volunteers who cared enough to spend their summer with them. While you're here, you'll earn an educational award that you can use towards college or trade school, and other benefits too, like a financial stipend. Email volunteer@chrisapp.org. That's volunteer@CHRISAPP.org, or text 859-797-3059 to learn more. We can't wait to hear from you.
There is a stigma attached to poverty and food insecurity. How do you and your team come alongside families to provide the assistance they need, but leave people with their dignity?
We actually have quite a good programs. We partner up with the schools, and not just our county schools here. We do all surrounding county schools. Any school that will let us roll into their school, we're going to be there. But we provide snacks for all the classrooms, so if kids can't afford snack money for the day, they always have an option. We always provide juice drinks. Usually they come from CAP, so well, all the time they come from CAP. So with the help of you all send us these juices or Powerades or Gatorades, and we stock every classroom that will let us stock them. And so the teachers are always really sweet about letting the kids take home extra at night. So it's really good. And I really like that we have made such a great relationship with these teachers. So if they have a kid that they see and they think something's going on, the teachers will reach out to us or the school. And we've had a few cases where, I'll tell you the story. A dad just got his boys back. He had 3 boys. He was a single dad. He was on drugs. He got clean. He was doing all of his steps. He was being wonderful. Well, the boys were at school and they were just shoving food in their mouth as fast as possible. And they said, "Did you eat last night?" And he said, "Yeah, we shared a hot dog." And he said, "Well, do you have food in the house?" And the little boy said, "Yeah, but that's when social services come to visit." So they had food, but it was just a show. They weren't allowed to eat it all. And so Nicky had an unexpected load that came in the pantry, and I needed some help. So I asked that dad if he would come and help me work the pantry. and I didn't have no freezer room, so he was more than happy to take some extra food home. But he worked, he did, he thought he did his job by giving back. And, if that helps these people get food in their house and let them keep their dignity, I'm all for it. He's not begging, he's working for it. And I think that really shows that he truly loved his boys and he really wanted to help give back.
Nicky, can you tell me a story that gives you hope that you can make a difference in the work that you do every day?
Well, we really concentrate on the kids here. And, we work really good with the both the Paintsville office there and the Somerset office. Ben and Aaron, they are just fantastic. I can't say enough nice things about them. They, no matter what project I have going on, they're like, okay, Nicky, what do you need? And, some of the things that I've got him in, it's just so funny. We done, our newest project is called Project Princess. So a little girl was at a school dance and she didn't have a dress and she was 10 years old and the girls were making fun of her because she didn't have a dress. Well, my daughter seen it and so that inspired her to start Project Princess where every girl can have a dress. And I called Aaron up and I was like, got a new project. And luckily he had these Amazon boxes that has full of prom jewelry. Well, our first event, I was telling my daughter, I said, this is the first time. Don't worry, we won't have that many people. You'll have enough dresses because we had 40 dresses. By the day it was over, we were almost out of dresses. We had such a huge response, and girls came from 5 counties because times are just so hard that the family just couldn't afford a prom dress this year. So it was so big that we decided to do it again. So this weekend is our second Project Prom. And, Aaron is just whatever prom jewelry or whatever makeup that Cap gets in, they're sending it for this project because it's truly helping these girls. And, when they were in the bathroom trying on these dresses here at our food pantry, and they were just looking in the mirror, and these girls were just crying. And I was like, what's wrong? And they were like, we never thought we would ever be in a dress like this. And, that really hit me hard because I never thought that a dress was a need. And to those girls, that was a need. And then when they just broke down crying and they were like, we don't have a mom to help us get ready for prom. And they were like, are you going to offer services? So we're offering prom services now. So it's just whatever need our community has, we're trying to be there to fill that. So that's what we do here. That's why we are called Hazel Green Food Project instead of Pantry.
Lots of people have never visited Appalachia. What's one stereotype that you'd like to correct?
There's so many. We all have our teeth, or most of us do. and we do wear shoes. But the one thing that people think about and they hear Appalachia is neighbors helping neighbors, and that is exactly what we do. And we will help our neighbors no matter what, whether it's a flood or if anything, any natural disaster, if a family member dies, you better believe that we're knocking on their doors and we're taking food or just household items to that family because we know that other families coming and they're going to be full of people. So we really look out for our neighbors and our community, and I think that's one of the best qualities we have from Appalachia.
How have you found purpose in your work when it would be easy to get discouraged?
Oh, you get discouraged a lot. There's been so many times, but when you think of these stories that you hear over and over, like in our food distribution, you don't know how many times that I just walk the line and I hear this mom just crying because she says, because of you, I have food in my house tonight. Or this elderly woman who says, my medicine costed more this month. And there's this one lady that tries to give us $2 every time we do a distribution. And she said, this is what I had left over for groceries, but I don't need to use it now that you helped me. And she tries to give me her $2. And I'm like, no. Well, sometimes she's sneaky and she throws it in her mailbox. But, that really, makes you feel like you're making a difference. Or my one story that really really got me when I first started this, and we started partnering up with the school like we do, is this little girl the teacher had her drawing her kitchen, and she drew her refrigerator, and the teacher goes, "Silly, where's your food at in your refrigerator?" And she was in first grade, and she said, "Oh, we don't have food in our fridge." She said, "Mom doesn't get hungry, and we go to Mama's house to eat at night." Well, that was like, a knife to the heart there. Come to find out, Dad got sick. He got laid off of work, and then he got COVID on top of that, and so he was off for an extended time. Mom was sick, and they lost everything. And so we found out about it from that teacher, and we stepped in and we made sure that their house was filled with groceries by that night. So, when you hear stuff like that and we do stuff like that, we go the extra step, that really gives you a sense of purpose for doing this. This is how you know that you're doing the right thing.
What are some of the challenges your team faces in trying to meet the basic need of putting food on the table?
Our biggest challenge is finding food, because if it wasn't for CAP, there's no way that we could ever distribute the way that we do. So finding food is one of the biggest things, and we depend on the Christian Appalachian Project to even to run a distribution. And another thing is, if other pantries would just kind of open their hearts more and start serving everybody and quit asking, if you make $2 too much, you get turned away. If they would just, serve with their hearts instead of their mind and, letting the numbers get involved, I think our numbers would cut down and we'd be able to, serve a normal amount of people. But until that happens, I see our numbers just increasing more and more every month.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Your generosity has a direct and positive impact in the lives of people in need in Appalachia every day. It is the unwavering support of faithful friends like you that make this work possible. Many of our supporters are beginning to plan and envision what kind of legacy they want to leave to support the causes that are near and dear to their hearts. CAP is happy to provide a safe and easy experience for people to create a will and support CAP through non-cash gifts. Through our partnership with Free Will, CAP offers our donors the ability to create a will online and alter it at no charge. Our partnership with Free Will also includes their Smart Giving Suite, which allows donors to give through their IRA, donor advised funds, and stock online, in addition to creating a will for free. In recent years, Appalachia has faced unrelenting challenges, including the pandemic, inflation, and back-to-back natural disasters. You can make a life-changing impact and leave a legacy of hope in Appalachia. To learn more about non-cash giving opportunities, please visit christianapp.org/more ways to give.
What are some opportunities or new initiatives that currently exist for Hazel Green?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I was kind of getting in this mood where you just kind of get stuck, and everybody depends on you. It's like, after so long, everybody just kind of expects the same thing over and over, and it kind of wears on you. So the Princess Project has really, sparked me again, because, seeing this make a difference in these young girls. Well, then my daughter came up with a new idea. And she is starting with, helping these people in Appalachia with their pets. And she's doing a rabies clinic and an exam clinic for their pets, because we have so many people in our food line who brings their pets with them. And to them, these pets are their only family they have. And so being able to serve them and seeing the joy it brings for them to even get, be able to afford a vet to come and check them up. And those are new projects. And I would really like to see more work with the kids. I would really like to do more that way. That we were talking with the inmates, and the inmates are wanting to do like a backpack program where they get to put stuff in the backpack, notebooks, pencils, crayons, and get it ready for this upcoming year. they want to be more involved in stuff like that. So I see that coming in our near future. We have a lot of our elderly people who really benefit from just the pet snacks and, the little leashes and collars that we get. And, this just, their face just lit up when they found out that they can bring their pets for these services. And, that was really touching for me.
Nicky, the time has just flown by. Thank you so much for being on today. We always end our show with a question related to CAP's mission statement. So the mission statement of Christian Appalachian Project is building hope, transforming lives, and sharing Christ's love through service in Appalachia. Hope, transformation, love, and service. Which one resonates with you the most when you think of Appalachia?
I think of love. I do, because I really take love your neighbor to heart, and I do love our neighbors, and I love our, it's not just our neighbors around here, it's everyone, because when you look at Hazel Green Food Project, we are in the middle. We're just a half a mile from McGoffin County and a half a mile from Morgan County and just a mile from Breathitt and just a couple miles from Menifee, and that's why we serve all these counties so well, because we truly love our neighbors. We don't care where you come from. We don't care what you have in your bank account. That's your business. If you're in a food line, you're going to get food. We're just here to serve.
Our guest today has been Nicky Stacy, president of the Hazel Green Food Project. We hope you've enjoyed the show and will check out next week's episode. Tell your friends to check us out too. You can follow the work of Christian Appalachian Project on all social media channels. Find the show online at christianapp.org/podcast or wherever you get your favorite podcast. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. We'll see you next week.